Guess who's back? Yes, Wagwan, everyone. I'm back. It's been 2 days. It's been 2 days, but it feels like a lifetime. I have missed you all. Welcome back to Tereak Talks. Yes, another stream for you here. Unfortunately, not a watch along, but I'm back again presenting you, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title of the video. We're reviewing all Premier League teams, all 20 Premier League teams start to the season. Do you know, like when you have at work, you have something called a performance review, and you usually have it at the end of the month? Well, with most jobs, yeah, it's meant to be every month, but there's some that you don't. In my job, I get it. I'm happy. So I'm not sending no shade out to my boss because I get my performance review. But yeah, this is what it's supposed to be. At school, I'm trying to think, for those of you at school, do you know when you get like that term parents evening? I know it's not like quite term, like this is quite short after. But the comments here again. Look at Tish sending her love in. Love Tish. Fadsley, my boy. Arsenal losing tonight. Confirming, here we go. Do you think you're Fabrizio Romano? Fads, come on, man. We're not losing to Wimbledon. Early gang. Know how in the building, never take a break again. Know how you were the one to tell me, oh, you should take a break, don't burn out. I took a break and I missed it. It was horrible. I listened to your words. It did help though. I feel a lot more refreshed and energized. The weekend that we just had, 6 streams overall? Had 2 on Friday, 1 on my channel, and then 1 on UFT. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. Go check the channel out. 2 on my channel on Saturday, and then 2 on Sunday. Wow. 2 watch-alongs on Saturday, 2 watch-alongs on Sundays. Look at that. The fam is all here. As Ed, not self-proclaimed, because Ed chose and named it the TTF. If you don't know what TTF stands for, Tereak Talks. Fam. Come on. I thought you were doing an Arsenal watch along. Fads, it's not on in the UK. And because of that, I think I could find it, but I'm not so sure. And I don't want Norwich to happen again. So apologies, man. I'm not doing a watch along for Arsenal. And it's only because there's restrictions. And I think it's to do with Wimbledon. Wimbledon aren't allowed to be shown in this country. So yeah, it's one of them. He don't have the minerals. You listening to this, man? Have you downloaded FIFA? No, not yet. I know that early access thing is still out, but nah, I'm just going to wait because there's going to be a first day patch and then the game's going to change then anyway. So I may as well wait. But what about you? Has anyone else downloaded FIFA here? Let me know. When will you give yourself a performance review? As I'm not planning on doing that quite yet. I review myself every day. I have to look at myself in the mirror. I give you that cringe answer, but thank you for joining. You're doing bits, as my students would say. Know how he's getting with the slang, getting with the thank you to your students. Well, I don't know. Well, I'm not saying thank you to your students, but yeah, I'm glad that you understand. Oh well, but you know what? Let's get into it. So my intro. I'm looking at my notes here, because I've got this all pre-planned. I'm getting rusty, man. I need to go back to the notes where I'm just literally reading off the notes for the whole video like I did before. I never did that. But yeah, 3 different categories. As you saw in the thumbnail, I've got surprising, on par, and disappointing over the first 5 games. Surprising, it just means that the team is achieving above the expectations. On par means if you've ever played golf, and do you know what? Because we're in Ryder Cup season, I thought may as well use a golf terminology. Anyone who's been watching the Ryder Cup, let me know. And I used to watch it when I was a kid because I went through a phase when I really liked golf. I've gone through a lot of phases in sports. Football, there was never a phase. That's life. So yeah, on par means level with expectations, and disappointing means below expectations. So yeah, self-explanatory. Please download FIFA. Drew, I will download FIFA. Don't you worry. You get to play with me as well. But yes. So, structure of the video, I will be going in. I was thinking, should I do alphabetical order? Or, yeah, nah, not alphabetical order because it's all messed up on my screen right now. I'm going to go through the order that I went from bottom to to top. Yeah, so that Premier League table. But that means I'm going to have to get this Premier League table. It's, yeah, I'll go from bottom. I'll go from bottom in the Premier League now to all the way top. So for like Norwich to Liverpool, or Chelsea, not Liverpool, sorry. So let's get this started. Enough waffle. Let's bring that one into the stream and let me change my background because that isn't the background that I want to use. Let's get professional now. Here I am. Here we go, as Fadsley would say, and Fabrizio Romano. So let's start off with Norwich. Where would I put Norwich City? I'm not going to spend too long on Norwich because for me, in my opinions, I think they're on par. Arguably on par or disappointing. For me, it's on par because I didn't predict Norwich to be anywhere. I actually got them in 20th. So, yeah, I guess that's on par level with the expectations. In 19th, though, I have got, well, in 19th in the league is Burnley. And given their fixtures at the start, they have lost 4 and drawn 1. So they do have a point, unlike Norwich do. And I'm just having a look at their fixtures right now, the results that they had. So they beat Rochdale last night. They lost to Arsenal, lost to Burnley, lost to Everton, drew with Leeds. That's where they picked up their point. Lost to Liverpool and lost to Brighton. For me, with those fixtures, not necessarily to do with where they are in the league, I actually think Burnley have done on par. And I predicted that they would have a tough start to the season. And initially, in my first video, I actually said that they would finish in the relegation zone. I've changed my mind because that first prediction video was before the transfer window shut and they signed Maxwell Cornet in. And when I saw Newcastle, yeah, I was like, they're not surviving Newcastle. However, we will get into them at some point. But let me go through the comments, everyone. Everyone strap in once he gets to Arsenal. Arsenal could be summed up in a sentence: as poor as expected. No how sending shots. I will get to Arsenal at some point. I will, if these guys let me live without sending so many shots at my boys in red and white. I'll get to them. I'm not going to go too far. And in 18th is Newcastle, which is exactly where I placed them with 2 points to their name. They picked up the draw against Leeds. And who was the other draw against now? Can anyone remember? I'm going to have to look through the fixtures. I remember against Leeds they drew, which is a decent result for them, to be fair. And then, Southampton in that game where they should have picked up 3 points. And for me, I think it's another one. I think it's another on par. So obviously it's not the greatest, but these relegation candidates are on par for me. And let's go back into the table. So in 17th, though, I think we've got our first disappointing is Leeds. I actually went for Leeds to finish in 12th. I'm still saying they will. I'm still saying that they will rise up the table. They are just outside the relegation zone for now. And for me, the reason why it's been disappointing is not just because of their league position, because you got to take into factor their fixtures, and I will take that into factor when I talk about Arsenal too. So it makes it a little bit interesting there. It's not as cutthroat with me that Arsenal disappointing because I look at where we're at in the league, don't want to be there, so it's below. Not like that, but I'll get to them. Well, I'm talking about Arsenal already. In September, they drew with Newcastle and lost to Liverpool. For me, they should have beat Newcastle. Drew with Burnley, should have beat Burnley too. And drew with Everton and lost 5-1 to Manchester United. So for me, I expected at least 3 points out of the Newcastle and Burnley game, and they only picked up 2. And then drawing to Everton, that's okay. Losing to Manchester United, that's not too bad either. But yeah, that's the main problem for Leeds is those it's those defeats that they did have and those draws, and that's why they are below par for me. Next in the league is your boys, Ed Marshall. Why am I reading your whole name? But Ed, Wolves is the next team. Let me see. There they are here. Where do I put them? Do you know what? Wolves is quite a difficult one because when you look at the start to the... If we were talking before the international break, I think you would say, in terms of looking deeper than just results, you would say they've had a good start to the season, and you'd probably say quite either on par, but quite surprising. I need like a little category there. I know. I'm just thinking now because I could put like Leeds in disappointing. Newcastle, I could separate them all. But yeah, but given their last result, against Brentford, I thought that was disappointing. Do you know what? It's quite tough. Ed, let me know where you put Wolves in. Let me see what you're saying. What have you said here? May as well do Wolves now. Awful. Okay, that's a bit harsh, I believe. I think that is a bit harsh. Selector Wolves versus Liverpool on FIFA. Cream Bone Wilfred Boney himself. Yo, T-Money, big up. Thank you for joining the stream, Wilf. My boy Wilf. It's a little inside joke, but I'll share it because it's his Tereak Talks family community. You see his name? He calls me T-Money. I call it. Someone in the other group chat called him Boney, so I decided to call him Wilf. Yeah, it's not as hilarious, but you know what? I wanted to give him a unique nickname because I thought Boney was a bit too. Well, somebody already took it, so yeah. My boy Wilf, big up yourself. Thank you for joining. So Wolves versus. So yeah, I'm gonna slip because of that Brentford defeat. Do you know what? I'm going to put Wolves in on par, level with the expectations that I had for them at the start of the season. Very good performance against Leicester. Should have won. Didn't score. I know he should have and should have, would have, could have type of thing. We've got to take solace and credit in that as a Wolves fan. Even though Ed has just said poor points total, vastly underwhelmed. Are you vastly underwhelmed, Ed, because you lost to Brentford? I think there's a lot of recency in that. You beat Watford. What else? You beat Watford. You've come up against Leicester City, who are fighting for top 4. Spurs, with a new manager, had that new manager bounce, and then Manchester United, where you should have actually won in all those games in terms of performance. So you took credit out of that. You beat Watford after the international break, and last week you lost to Brentford. I'm not going to go that harsh on Wolves. I actually think it's on par. I think as a fan, you can get quite caught up in the emotion of things. And Ed said, and this is what Ed's response is. Now, I'm underwhelmed by the output. Good performances, 0 points. Harsh, very harsh. But yeah, I think they will pick up though, bro. And for that reason, I've gone with on par. It's obviously easy to just say, yeah, stick them in below expectations. They've lost. They didn't pick up any points in those games. However, was you expected? No, I don't think so. So, yeah. But yeah, let me go to Samson. Joining once again, my G. Thank you for hopping in the stream, man. Appreciate you there. Grace coming in as well. Hello. All the best for Grace, guys. If you can just send a little pause here, send all your best wishes out to Grace, who's having surgery on Friday, if I remember. So yes, how you doing, Grace? I'm glad that you're in. But Ed's also mentioning under Nuno, we had poor performances. We picked up points. Yeah, but performances right now. You got to be happy with them, and when your team starts to gel, you will pick up those points, and then your goals will start to score. You will start to score those goals with Jimenez. Remember, you was telling me the other day, Jimenez just needs ones off his backside or something like that, just off of his knee, and that's when the goals will start going in. And for me, that's what you just need to gain confidence. I think it will come. Be patient. Who have you got next week? You got Southampton on Sunday, which I will also be doing a watch along with a special guest. I will make that special guest announced and clear. But yes, I've got a guest on, very special to me, and you guys will see his face on the channel for the first time. So yes, next team. So that's Wolves for me. That is all best. Look at that. Look at Wilf sending all his love. This is why I love Wilf, man. Got a lot of love. Yes, G. Yes, Ed. Only points on the league table make me happy. Very Nuno-esque, that is. Very Nuno. I think he's got the Nuno love. Oh, man. But next team is Southampton. And do you know what? They've got 4 points on the board, and they picked all 4 points off of draws. But if you think about it, I think they've actually, in terms of those games that they had, on par. I was almost going to put them surprising and above expectations. But when I do look at those results that they did pick up, let us have a look at that. They drew to Manchester City, which is obviously good. West Ham, given the fact that West Ham are in good form, decent result. Newcastle, it's the fact that you're away from home, that's an okay result. South Manchester United 1-1 and then lost their first game of the season to Everton. On par. Do you know what? Southampton on par or surprising? Guys, let me know what you think. Do you think Southampton have had an on par season, or would you put them in surprising? I'll put them on par. I've got a lot of teams on par at the moment. But yeah, when we get further up the table, that's when we're going to start to see. In 14th, Crystal Palace. And do you know what? I feel that this is another on par team as well. Dipping into on par. It's a difficult start. Obviously, they picked up their one win. They've had 2 losses, 2 draws, and a win in their opening 5 games. That win obviously coming against Spurs with Nuno and that 3-0 victory. 2 draws coming up against West Ham and Brentford. Yes, West Ham and Brentford against the other 2 London clubs. West Ham away in a good draw, 2-2 draw, and Brentford at home. Yes, Brentford at home, and then lost to Chelsea and Liverpool. So for that reason, it's got to be on par with me. You like with the results that they're expected to pick. And this is about Southampton. Sorry, sorry there. Had to cut myself short because Livramento, best pick of the season so far. You heard it. Ed knows it. And that's a big shout. And that was what I was calling Livramento. Valentino Livramento. Brilliant pickup. I'm glad that... As this is what I said. I keep saying it. Why didn't we pick him up? Why didn't Arsenal? We needed a right back. But you know what? I'm happy with Tommy T. Tommy T and Tommy P. I'm happy with Tommy T. So yeah. Southampton surprising for me. I can see that. The fact that they've only lost 1 game. Do you know what? For that, Eds, because this is the Tereak Talks community, I will be convinced, and you have convinced me. Yeah, I'm going up for surprising. And here's Wilf. Yo, T, what did I tell you? Vieira gonna be the man. Yeah, he's had a decent start so far, on par, and picking up that win against Tottenham, where they weren't really expected to pick a result. I could slide them into surprising. However, because I did expect them to beat Brentford and they drew there, I will stick them just on par, but it's literally on par with, but close to being surprising. So yeah, unless you comment on otherwise and make me say, no, T, this has got to be surprising. Okay. So yeah, or just do what Ed says. Just say surprising for me and that will work because I'm very fickle. But the next team in 13th is my club, Arsenal Football Club. And do you know what? This one's difficult because instantly everyone says, yeah, disappointing. You lost your first 3 games. You lost to Brentford, a new promoted side. And people might think that I'm just giving excuses. So I don't think so. And when I say this, people might think I'm giving excuses. That defeat against Brentford, the game shouldn't have even went ahead with all the COVID cases and the COVID problem just before kickoff. But the Premier League, they're like, nah. We've been through this all season. We're not having it again. Yeah. First Premier League game of the season. We've got fans back. We don't want this. We don't want to start this. The curtain raiser, all eyes, a lot of money being generated. That's what I think it is, driven by, let's do this. So we went ahead and played with a lot of players with COVID, we had to play Balogun, Martinelli. Balogun Balogun and Martinelli haven't started since, and I don't know if they're starting tonight. The squad will be announced. I will have a look at it later. So yeah, instantly you can say disappointing, below expectations, and because we haven't. And do you know what? I am going to keep us there after saying giving all those reasons for the Brentford one. I'm going to keep us there because we have the other 2 games I expected us to win. So yeah, for that reason, we are staying there. I didn't expect us to beat Chelsea. Didn't expect us to beat Manchester City. The manner of the defeat to Manchester City was horrific, however. So yeah, and I think I will keep Arsenal there. But it's not as cut and dry like, yeah, disappointing. Yeah, move on next. Because there are reasons, there are justifications for it. But there's Ed. Vieira always beats Spurs. It is the law. Arsenal on par with all the setbacks. Yes, Boney, thank you. Yes, Wilf, I do actually agree with you in that way. And because me and you, we're like the optimistic Arsenal fans. We don't look at our club that unless it's straight after defeat, then the Discord server goes crazy. But Yeah, I kind of do see what you're saying. Maybe something for another vid. But do you think Arsenal get more flack because of AFTV? I definitely do think Arsenal get more flack because of social media as a whole. And AFTV is a big part of that because it's the biggest platform where you go to Arsenal fans and you find that a lot of abuse, or like not necessarily abuse anymore, but a lot of discontent and a lot of I've had a lot of abuse towards people on there as well. Let's be realistic about it. So yeah, I actually do agree with you and say that it is a lot, and the people and the types of opinions you get on there do swing a fan base and the negativity. However, I wouldn't pin it all on that, as I think our owners have a lot to take as well, a lot to blame for the negativity, for the split and the division in the fan base. I don't think that AFTV have caused that division. I think that's come from with the owners. However, with the such of a size of a platform that AFTV has, anyone who's interested in football knows of Arsenal, previously Arsenal Fan TV, AFTV. So, yes, I do think it does play a part in that. And the size of the club as well, given how much fans we have, the fan base and social media, how loud. And it's usually the negative and toxic ones in life in general, not just in football, who are the loudest. So you are onto something on that. I do agree. And what is else? Arsenal still rebuilding. The scaffolding is only just up since Wenger left. Patience is key. This spot on comment of the day already. We're 22 minutes into the stream, and that's the best comment. Look at that there. Just giving you a shout out. It's easy, and people love taking at Arsenal. Yes, it is Bone. Yes, it is Bone. Yes, it is Wilf, because we are a massive club at the end of the day. We are huge in terms of our fan base. There's Arsenal fans all over the world, all over the country. The fact that I support Arsenal, I'm not from London. I wasn't born in London. You know that. You can hear my accent. But because I fell in love with Arsenal for plenty of different reasons, I'll give you a reason. I've got a reason now. My sister, Alicia, she was in here earlier. She supported Arsenal when I was a kid, and that's where it grew. And I had no other choice. I had no other people in my life who really liked football at that moment in time. Ed, you came in a little bit too late. Then I maybe could have supported Wolves. I'm glad you came in at the time you did, because I'm glad I support Arsenal. But yeah, and the main reason for that is when you look at, and I know why Ali started liking Arsenal. She really liked Ian Wright, Thierry Henry, and my sister really liked. So that's the thing, and that's where I built my love for Arsenal. So that's how big of a fan base we are. That's how amazing and how we can touch so many people. And so it's easy. And people want to say, I laugh at Arsenal, laugh at you. But guess what? We're going to rise, Bone. Yes, Cream Bowl, every Arsenal fan, everyone listening, we're going to come back. Yeah, at some point. Just come on. Let's trust. Nah, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say that because people get a lot of abuse for that. But 9 likes. You know what? I'm going to say trust the process. I've said it now. I've said it. No taking it back. But yes, next team is where there. You shorty. I thought you was from South London, bro. I lie. Hey, Wilf. I'm coming now, yeah? I'm from South. All right, let me go into Leicester. I'm not talking about Square either. I'm talking about City. Nah, sorry. Horrific South London accent there. So apologies if I've offended you. But yes, Leicester City, I am going with disappointing. I've definitely been disappointed by not even just how their results, I've been disappointed by their performances. Against Wolves, very lucky to get the 3 points. Got it in the end. And then after that, they played West Ham, lost 4-1, got battered with 10 men, but they would have got battered anyway without 10 men. So disappointing there, massively disappointing for a team like Leicester, expecting a much tighter game. 2-1 against Norwich City, where they were quite fortunate to get the victory in there too. In September, they lost to Manchester City after the international break, which is fine. And then they lost to Brighton. So for me, it's disappointing with all the hype that they've been given and all the hype that Brendan Rodgers receives. Yeah, let's give them a little bit of a reality check now. They have done tremendous. They won last season. They won the FA Cup. To be in and around the top four for a club of Leicester's size is amazing. Give credit where it's due. However, for their failures, if that was Arsenal, because with the squad that they had, if you change the badges around, and that is Arsenal Football Club that are finishing outside of the top four, bottling it in the way they did, it's not the same, is it? We would get absolutely annihilated for it as Arsenal fans. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter, because Leicester, like, this is what I'm saying about badges and the clubs, and this is where people use their tunnel vision. Let's look at where we currently are as Arsenal fans, not where we have been, not where we want to be, but where we currently are in that situation, and where Leicester currently are. Leicester should be the best of the rest. I put them in 5th in my league, so they are definitely below expectations at the moment. Left a lot to be desired. Laughing at myself, London. Nah, that was horrific. What was that? No, I'm not even doing it anymore. Leicester expected more, exactly. I agree with you there. I'm glad that you agree with me, Wilf. And the next team that I will go into is a team above Leicester, and that says it all, Watford. I have been actually pleasantly surprised with Watford in their games this season, in their victories that they've picked up. They've got 2 wins to their belt, 6 points on the board. They won their first game against Aston Villa, which was a surprise already, because I thought in my prediction, I thought Aston Villa would breeze through that game. So yeah, they did beat them, Aston Villa. They lost 2-0 to Brighton. Given Brighton's start, we'll get to them soon. It is impressive. Lost 1-0 to Tottenham, and were very close in that game, and for me, deserved a result, the underdogs. Then we go into September, lost to Wolves. That was quite disappointing, I guess. Given Wolves' starts to the season, they could have capitalised on that and taken advantage. However, the following week, they went and grabbed all 3 points in the relegation 6-pointer against Norwich quite convincingly. Ismail Assar has been their key performer in those wins that they have picked up. He's scored, and he's scored and assisted in both of those games. So yeah, and the cycling GK was back in goal. So they've got 6 points. They're above Leicester. They're above Arsenal. So you know what? You got to give a lot of credit where credit is due to Watford. So they are surprising this season so far. I do think that they will tail off. I don't think they're going to have a surprising season. However, it is what it is. Next in this table, we've got Aston Villa. And you know what? Aston Villa, it's a difficult one in 10th position, because I think easy to put Aston Villa straight away there. Disappointing below expectations because of all the hype that was around Aston Villa at the start of the season. They're going to finish above Arsenal. Yeah, they're going to break. They're going to compete for Europe. In terms of what we've seen so far, I don't think that they have achieved that. You can't be losing games to Watford if you're going to compete in Europe. You have to be grabbing at least a point away from home in those types of games in the Premier League. They beat Newcastle, quite fortunate in that game in terms of their performance. Drew 1-1 to Brentford. Lost to Chelsea, but then beat Everton 3-0. And do you know what? Keeping Aston Villa in disappointing, given that they have picked up 1 point against the 2 promoted sides that they have played. And I expected 4. So for those games, yeah, I'm going to have to put them in disappointing. Let me know if you disagree with me, Villa fans. I know you are not high after beating Everton 3-0. Leon Bailey coming on, setting up the own goal and scoring, and then getting injured and having to come off. So yes, came to drop the 9th. Look at Shearer dropping the 9th. Like, thank you very much. Appreciate that, my bro. So yeah, I've gone with Everton, disappointing below expectations. In the next team that we've gone through, so we've done half of the table. Not going to spend too long on these because it is Brentford in 9th position, and everybody knows where they're going. Surprising. They're even above my expectations because I went for Brentford to finish in 15th. A lot of people, a lot of football fans and content creators and other journalists and football experts went for Brentford to finish in the relegation zone. Nah, not for me. The best run club in the world, I think, relative to their size, where they've come from, their recruitment strategy, the fact they're in the Premier League, in the toughest league in the world, beating Arsenal, Wolves, who else? They beat Arsenal, Wolves, and then picked up 2 draws and only 1 defeat. Massive. Great start to the season in the Premier League. Hopefully they can sustain it. definitely need to improve on that squad. They need more squad depth. If they do have injuries by January, it will be a problem. But you know what? Brentford, I've done them now. And before I go into my next one, I'm going to have a look at... apologies for that there. I'm clicking on the wrong tab. Ed has mentioned something. Villa are running the line of so many players in a short space of time. It will come good, but there's a lot of time there's a lot to readjust to. So I agree with that, and I also think that's the same case for Arsenal. We've made so many signings. We made more signings than Aston Villa, and the fact that they have to readjust and they have a new system where they've lost their talisman. And they're having to really go in a different way of creating and not having that reliable person to just create all the chance creations for Aston Villa. Now they're having to have it throughout the whole team. And the whole team is yet to gel with players like Buendia, with players like Leon Bailey, who's brand new to the Premier League, all coming in a new system under a new manager, with Danny Ings as well. But Danny Ings is settled and hit the ground running. So yeah, they do have to readjust. They are disappointing so far. I expected better from them at the start of the season. 1 point against the 2 promoted sides. Got to do better than that. Got to be at least minimum 4 points. Do you know what I mean? Minimum. And then 2 points, I still think that's disappointing. But yeah, they've only got 1. So that makes it even worse. So in 8th position is West Ham United. And do you know what? It's quite difficult. Because West Ham had a brilliant season last season. I went for West Ham to finish in 10th, below Aston Villa. West Ham, so I guess Aston Villa in or around about where their position is. But yeah, I expect them to be higher up the table and then drop off a little bit more. So yeah, with West Ham, their 2 wins, Leicester and who else? What was their other win? Leicester. I can't remember. Sorry, people. My memory's shocking here. West Ham's wins were against Leicester and Newcastle. That's it. Newcastle was their first game of the season. Expected there. Leicester, I thought that was a brilliant result. Crystal Palace, quite disappointing the fact they were at home. Southampton, I thought that was disappointing too. But then Manchester United expected. So do you know what? For West Ham, I think they should have been higher up the table, but I can't put them in disappointing. I think they are on par for me. Where they're 10th, like Shearer, came in a bit late. Is this a tier list? Yes, it is. You are correct. For me, Villa have brought so well. 9 on mine. He's ranking all the... yeah, there we go. Brentford surprise package. Exactly. I think I should put Brentford above all. They should be the top, the first team in front. Let's move on from Brentford. I'm still feeling stung by the bees. Love that one, Ed. Dad joke for you there. Share this out to your socials, people. Let's grow the Tereak Talks fam. Dings for me. I don't know why, but I'm not a fan. The stats, performances all show I'm wrong, but I can't shake that feeling. He's average. Ooh, Danny Ings. Oh, okay. Newcastle T. Sorry, the reason it's so small, I've got too many things on my screen. T. Who was it on there here that called Antonio's fitness? Good shout. Was it yourself? Was it yourself, Boney? I can't remember. I don't know if it was. I'm sure it was yourself because I know how you are, Wilf. So yeah, you are right with Antonio's fitness. And yeah, he was suspended in the last game, so he's not really... Was his fitness not an issue? Unless I don't know if he's injured, but he was suspended. Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair enough. So the next one is... Let me get back to the table. The next team, and above West Ham, is Tottenham. I guess to be honest, they beat Manchester City. Nobody expected that. They beat Wolves. They beat Watford. Expected to beat Wolves and Watford. I mean, losing to Crystal Palace 3-0 was disappointing, then losing to Chelsea. So after it's really, you can really split it so far with Tottenham. Before the international break, they were definitely there. After the international break, you could say that they're here. So I think we've got to go in the middle, right in between, and say that they're on par. Nuno's side beating Man City, however, dropping points against Crystal Palace after beating Manchester City is quite disappointing. So yeah, Spuds, look at that there. He's laughing. But nah, sorry, Wilf. I've just sent shots at you for nothing there. Just agreed with someone on here. Whoever said, if you're not watching it now, if you're not in the live stream, whoever said that Antonio's fitness, what was it about to be a struggle, then give him a shout. Then get in the comments below, claim it, because Wilf's giving you credit here. He doesn't give me credit, so he's giving you credit there. But yes, Spuds, laughing at them. I'm glad that they're on par. And do you know what? Let's sort them out this weekend. Don't you worry. Speaking of Spuds, I've got a big match preview coming up. I've got 2 big match previews. I've got Chelsea versus Manchester City coming tomorrow. And then also on Friday, I've got Arsenal versus Spurs. Big match preview. Boney, I want to see you there for that one. Come on, man. I need your hype. I need your optimism. I need your the detest you have against Spurs. I need that with me to help me build us up even more. In 6th place in the league right now is Everton, and they are surprising. The Damari Gray, the big surprising factor, the breakthrough player. I didn't choose him. I chose Jean-Philippe Baumann, who's I don't even think's played a game in the Premier League. So yeah. I should have known my expertise that Damari Gray would break through. However, fantastic. They've only lost 1 game, and that was against Aston Villa in their last game, winning 3, drawing 1, drawing their way to Leeds, and then beating the likes of Burnley, Southampton, and who was the other team? They beat Brighton. They even beat Brighton away. So yeah, brilliant start for Rafa Benitez. His side struggled with injuries as well. No Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Richarlison picked up an injury too. So yeah, fantastic start to the season. What's Ed saying about Spurs? Nuno getting flack, sitting on 8 points, say no more. Yeah, sitting on points, but we'll have to see. Performances do points, and performances, they will change. It will. Can you see Spurs picking up many points that are expected this season anymore? I don't think so. They caught Manchester City at the right time, in my opinion. Gray and Townsend, no one is calling that before the season. Townsend is reviving his career like he did his hairline. That's what happens when you go to Turkey. But yeah, Damari Gray, fantastic revival in his career too. Give credit to the lad. He was at Bayer Leverkusen, didn't really work out there. He's come back to the Premier League. A lot of stick saying, what? Why is he coming back? What's he doing? But this just shows you guys, if you've got the mentality, you can grow. Even if you failed previously, if you come back with a fresh mindset and willing to grow and keep performing, hopefully you can keep this consistency, because I don't think he'll get into the England side now, because we are quite stacked in those attacking positions. He may get an England cap, but I don't see him being in like the 2022 World Cup squad unless injuries has a different outcome. And then you know what? You never know. He could score the winner in the World Cup final for England. Hopefully, he represents Jamaica instead. But yes, in 5th place is Manchester City. And for that reason, you've got to go. Manchester City should not be in 5th place, especially given their start to the season. Spurs losing there. Winning those 3 games, winning against Arsenal 5-0, Norwich 5-0, and Leicester, but then drawing to Southampton. You can't do that if you're in a title race. So for me, they're disappointing, below expectations. I went for Manchester City in 2nd. That I didn't go for them to win the league. However, I did expect them to be challenging, to be at least in the top 4, and not this club above them. Yeah. Before I go in, Isaiah Douglas, thank you here for joining. Thank you for joining, Isaiah. Appreciate you for coming. Put Crystal Palace higher. Crystal. So what you're saying? For me, I haven't been that surprised with Crystal Palace's start to the season. Yes, they've drawn. Do you know what? I can hear that, because they've drawn to West Ham. I didn't expect them to draw there. Beating Spurs, didn't expect them to beat them. Do you know what, Isaiah? That's a good shout. If you give me a reason, give me your reason, Isaiah, for why you'd put them above, and I may consider changing. I do think it's a good shout. So yeah, let me know. English, British players going abroad is so refreshing to see. Growing up in the 90s and noughties, players just didn't do that. Sancho, trailblazer. Exactly. That's what we like to see. Going abroad, making your name for yourself. Give credit to where credit is due. Yes, Isaiah, welcome to Tereak Talks. Ed, appreciating you there. Biggest improvement for Palace is that they're just not reliant on Zaha. Exactly. Elise's come in. Odson Edward. Disappointing performance last week, though, conceding all 3 goals against Liverpool that were all from set pieces. You expect better, as Liverpool don't have that many set piece aerial threats. They had 3: Fabinho, Van Dijk, and Matip. But Matip didn't even play in that game, did he? No, because it was Konate. Konate made his first appearance. So yeah, not everyone else was tallest, but none of them even scored. It was Keita, Salah, and Mane. So in 5th, Manchester City, disappointing. And then as we go in 4th, easy pick out. And you know what? I'd put them there. They're above Brentford in terms of how surprising they've been. Not even for me. Do you know what? They have surprised me because I did not expect them to be in 4th place with just 1 defeat, which was against Everton, beating the likes of Burnley away in the first game of the season, which was good. Brentford, which is proving difficult so far. Leicester City, big results there. So yeah, I do actually some massive overachievers so far with their finishing as well. The strikers have been able to score. Danny Welbeck's grabbing some goals and staying fit. So yeah, big credit to Brighton there. You know who it is. Big G Potter. That's the reason he's at the wheel. He's carrying Brighton. And you know what? Keep your eye on him, please, Arsenal. Please. Because as soon as somebody else takes him, it's going to be a problem for us to get a player, a manager that is doing so well, English as well. And yeah, I do think there are managers out there that could take Arsenal in their current position and move them forward. However, I'm still trusting the process, and let's give Arteta time. He's built this project. He deserved it. So yeah. Palace, new manager, loads of players shipped out, got to be higher. Do you know what? Because of the Tereak Talks fam, I'm going to do it. I've done it because you guys have convinced me. You got Wilf over here, you got Creambone, and you got Isaiah saying it. And I do. And Ed's also said biggest improvement for Palace is they're not just relying on Zaha. Credit is due. Put Chelsea number 1. Surprising. Isaiah, though, is it surprising for you where Chelsea are at the start of the season? I don't think it's surprising, Isaiah. So for me, we're going to get. I'll do Chelsea now because you brought them up. I think they're on par in where people expected them to be. I think like if I was to put them on par, they're like just here, and I'm not going to rearrange everyone, but I'm just making it clear. Chelsea, you could easily adjust them and put them to surprising if they're above expectations, but they're not above my expectations and what I expect. And I'm not saying like I'm the greatest or anything and I know everything, but everybody's rated Chelsea. A lot of people have made them title favourites. So it's not really surprising. What is surprising is their result against Liverpool. The fact that they were down to 10 men. It was like, they're going to lose this one right here and now. But they are such a strong side in terms of they know how to defend, even with 10 men. They can score goals now. So Chelsea are a problem this season. So yeah, I see what you're saying in terms of that, but they're on par for me. That Keita swinger, exactly. If you're new here, as I bang a like on this video and subscribe. Brighton number 1 for me, definitely. Even those who thought they were dark horses like myself didn't expect this. Chelsea are on par, amazing signings and picking up where they left off. Yeah, exactly. So on par for you too, Ed. I agree. I do think they're on par. However, let's go into 3rd place before we go into 2nd. Manchester United. So if we look at Manchester United's fixtures at the start of the season and results, beat Leeds. Everybody expected them to beat Leeds. Yeah, I don't think I said that they would beat Leeds. I think I went for like Leeds might sneak it or sneak a draw. Southampton, disappointing. Picked up against Wolves, expected. Newcastle, expected. So for me, Manchester United are on par as well in terms of where they should be this season. And this isn't my bias as an Arsenal fan. This is me saying Manchester United deserve to be where they are. And they should be there, given their start to the season. The real test for Manchester United comes when they play against Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool. How they perform in those games and what the results they pick up there. Not even necessarily how they perform, results. That's where it matters in those types of games. So for me, that's what you got to look out for. And that's the difference, Ed, with Wolves. I know I'm going back on Wolves again. But for the games that you've played, you're not expected to pick up any results against those sides. But the fact you outperformed a lot of those teams at the start of the season, you've got to take credit in that, in my opinion. And that's why it's above. It's not disappointing. So yeah, I know I've gone back to where I've started, but yes. Creambone T, I stand corrected. G Potter, fair play, bro. We was having this conversation in the Discord, and we've had it in previous videos as well. I'm glad. You see, I've rated Graham Potter. Do you know, ever since Wilf, it's not even Swansea or Brighton. It's literally since Ostersons. I was like, who's this guy? He's got Ostersons. I've never heard of this club in my life. I thought this was just, one of them. This is introduction into Europa League. But when I saw them play at the Emirates and their winger, did he score? Was it Sema? You remember Sema who used to play for, who plays for Watford? Yeah, he started at Ostersons. He had an Iranian striker there, and he brought in an English central midfielder. And Graham Potter built that team. So Potter is amazing. And the fact when I saw that and what he can build, and what he's done with Brighton now, and now he's finally getting his credit. He's done this with Brighton ever since he's walked through the door. It's just that the strikers didn't know how to put the ball in the back of the net, and he never got his plaudits. Everyone was like, "Yeah, Brighton are overrated. They finished 16th. They're relegation fodder. They just finished above the relegation zone." However, he's squeezed everything out of that squad. I saw it at Ostersons. He did really good at Swansea too, until Brighton picked him up. Brighton made a massive decision, by the way, sacking Chris Hughton, who kept them up in the league. At the time, it was treated with a lot of disdain, with a lot of why are you doing that? Well, you can't be doing this. You can't be sacking a manager that's just kept us in the league, that got us promoted, and now he's kept us in the league. We're little Brighton. However, that's what happened, and it reminds me of when Southampton sacked Nigel Adkins to get in Pochettino, and then the rest was history. I know he hasn't won anything, but to see the career, the clubs that he's taken over, and he's at now, Pochettino, if Graham Potter gets that standing, he's got to be one of the best English managers. One of the best English managers there has been. Do you know what I mean? Like Brian Robson is up there, of course, but he's got to be like top 5. If he gets to that level. So yeah, Potter's powers are in his beard. Exactly. He's getting them now. CR7, unexpected. Performances on par. Exactly. No Patino at all. Can't find a gunner stream for this Wimbledon. Lacquer is in. Wanted Balogun too, but nice to see Eddie's in. Come on. Thank you, Moss, for coming in and breaking that news. No Patino in the squad at all. It's a bit disappointing. Potter playing good football on a budget. Isaiah, you preaching, man. He's so true. He's the football that we're seeing, the attacking flow, the creativity, the chances they're creating. I know I've just said that twice, creativity and chances creating, but defensively as well. They're not just good going forward. They're very solid in the other way. And their expected goals, they were meant to be, and the expected points they were meant to get last season, they were meant to be in 6th. However, they just couldn't finish their dinner. There was no problems going back. If you saw in the Manchester United game last season, at the second game of the season, they should have won that game, but they should have took 3 points, but they ended up taking 0. Man United were very lucky in that game. So yeah, Brighton's performances and results, they've got the results to show for it, as Ed would like to say. Brighton and Hove Albion, biggest signing, Potter's 6-year contract. So even if they do lose, Graham Potter, they're going to lose a nice bit. Like, they're going to get a nice compensation for it. Van der Beek, Sancho, Lingard, all in for Manchester United. Oh, yeah, and Anthony Martial. Wow. Juan Mata, 2. Kane starting in the Carabao Cup. Wow, big one. LFC Red Forever channel. Yes, Fuzzy, nice to see you. Thank you for joining, bro. Any Liverpool fans, go check his channel out. I will be on UFT, which is another one of his channels, representing Arsenal for the weekend preview on Friday. Hope you're doing good, bro, and good win yesterday against Norwich with a lot of youngsters. So yes, and then finally, it is perfect timing. Before I even go to that, LFC will win the Carabao Cup with ease. Are you going to finally take it off of Manchester City? You have, 8-time winners? You've won the Carabao Cup. So, you know what? Are you lolling at that there, that statement? But yeah, perfect timing to come to Liverpool. He's joined in at the perfect time. And for me and everyone else, I think they have surprised people. They haven't surprised me. So in my opinion, I think they've been on par. But you know what? Because of everyone's thoughts of Liverpool thinking, you know what? Liverpool squad ain't good enough. They ain't got this. They ain't got that. However, they've had injuries already with Harvey Elliott. They've rotated their fullbacks and they've still kept the level of performance the same. So well played, Liverpool. They have surprised above expectations. They should have won those games. But yeah. Thank you, bro. Calling a cup winner at this stage of the tournament. You tell him exactly. Record holders, they are, what, 8 times winning it? Trophies are trophies at the end of the day. I'll take Arsenal winning a Carabao Cup. Lacaz's goals, and then ready for, yeah, you said it, Lokonga and Partey in. Nice. This is the partnership. Okay, it's a strong team he's really put out there. Klopp doesn't respect the League Cup. He hasn't done in previous seasons, and we'll see when it comes to when they get a big team again. When they played Arsenal, they actually played quite a decent squad, but Arsenal beat them on penalties, and we played I wouldn't say stronger squad than Liverpool, but relatively speaking, it was a stronger squad for us last season. Weird people writing off Liverpool, that squad exactly. Strong team. We have underestimated us and we'll bite back. That's the mentality that a lot of Liverpool fans have been going with. Don't worry. I'm not one of them who's underestimated you. I think you'll finish above Manchester United, and you will compete for the league. I've said it. I think Manchester United are the team to be got at if there is a team. I don't think it will be a 4-horse race. I think it'll be 3. Manchester United will just be the best of the rest, and there'll be a break. There will be a little bit of a gap between between third and fourth. I think that you will be like a 6 to 10 points above Manchester United by the end of the season. In third, I think, but you know what? You may even finish second or first. It's so tight. I went for Chelsea to finish first because of just the squad depth that they have. And if they do pick up injuries, I think they'll be okay. However, Kante, when they missed Kante and when they brought Kante on, that really made the difference on the weekend. So maybe Kante is the key for it all. A lot of chat in the comments right now, picking up towards the end. We have 8 League Cups too. Okay, look at that. We got Liverpool and Manchester City going at it right now. That's what we love to see. Some PL teams playing proper teams tonight. Yeah, that's what we like to see. No more disrespect. We didn't lose on penalties. It was Arsenal. Yes, bro, we will win the league. No doubt about it. Love that confidence. I wish I could say that as an Arsenal fan. Fozzie might be the first Liverpool fan I've seen online that doesn't count every sentence. Doesn't end every sentence with "you never walk alone." We also share it with Liverpool most consecutive League Cup wins with 4. Okay. Ed, I don't fake it. I am an LFC fan since 1979. Guys, that's the perfect time. And do you know what? We had that little Manchester City and Liverpool beef. That's coming in next week as well. Isaiah, Fuzzy, it's going to be mad next week. That's not this weekend. It's the following weekend. Liverpool versus Manchester City before we go into the international break. Am I correct? That is the fixture. Yes, it is. Guys, let me know your thoughts if you're watching this afterwards. Let me get the big one on screen right now. That's it. I'll bring it in and give a nice little zoom in. That is why I've gone for disappointing, below expectation start to the season. Leeds, Arsenal, Leicester, Aston Villa and Manchester City. On par or where they're expected to be in the league. I've gone with Manchester United, Chelsea, Norwich, Burnley, Newcastle, Wolves, West Ham and Tottenham. Some controversial ones in there. Some people may decide Wolves will be disappointing. Some people may decide Spurs should be surprising. West Ham could be surprising as well. But in surprising, I've gone for Brighton, Brentford, Southampton, Watford, Everton, Crystal Palace, and Liverpool. So let me remove that from the screen, get my big head back on screen. Appreciate you all for coming in this video. Make sure you do leave a like if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Get in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts too, and share this out to your fans and not your fans, your friends and family. That's what it is. So they can be a part of the Tereak Talks fam. Like and share, people. We beat them, bro. No doubt. we play Chelsea, but then after we play Liverpool. And then in between that, you've also got PSG in the Champions League next week, Wednesday. Big fixtures, big 3 games for you. The PSG one, yeah, it's obviously big in terms of setting your statement. But in the Premier League, I think those 2 games are huge, Isaiah, for you, Manchester City. The fact that you've dropped points against Spurs and Southampton, you need to make them back up, and you need to pick up 4 points, I believe, in those 2 games against Chelsea, then Liverpool. So, yes, spicy fixtures for City there. Looking forward to it. We will be bringing you all of that here on Tereak Talks. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Hit that post notifications too. Great show. Again, T-Money, see you in the chat, bro. I will be in that chat Discord. I won't be doing a watch on because it's difficult to find the stream anywhere. Apologies for that. But take care. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to eat some dinner and sit down and stick on the Carabao Cup. Hopefully, you guys stay safe. I'll be back again tomorrow. Peace.